just through a weird series of events, got connected with the people at BubbleUp in October of 2014. Just didn't really know what I wanted to do. And they had been immensely successful in Nashville. I'd come across them a couple of times. I didn't really realize they just had their head down, like doing really good work. And I think I was trying to find a job for a former teammate of mine. And Coleman, the CEO, said, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Like, what are you doing?" And then he offered me a job, and I was like, okay. And so we've been at it ever since with our little crew here in Nashville and our bigger crew in the Houston area.
Yeah, you guys have been at it. I'm looking at your roster right now. Let me read these off. Lainey Wilson, Big as Texas Festival, Kelsey Ballerini, Blue Otter, Dierks Bentley, Eric Clapton. You're going to have to say that one for me. Krungbin? The Eagles. Krungbin. The Eagles, Luke Bryan, Chris Stapleton, Tim McGraw, The Cody Norris Show, the Houston Texans, Aerosmith, Kenny Chesney, Jimmy Buffett, and Anthony Bonnette. Just to throw my name in the mix. Well, that's a pretty formidable list there.
And the cool thing about that list, I mean, it's something to be proud about, but every one of those artists, we work with them in a different way. So, we may just do a website or e-commerce or something like that. So, the company was really built around being like where our customer is and what their needs are. And we've gotten big enough to be able to do that. We were mostly in the business of making websites and stores and doing fan clubs, but I think it's it was intentional, but also a product of the changes of the music industry to where we started to help artists, take music to market.
Yeah, you guys are really a custom. It's like a record label, except you can pick and choose kind of what you want with BubbleUp. It's a really neat concept. Did it start? I know that Jimmy Buffett was kind of the pattern that it was all built off of, at least in some sense. But is that kind of what happened, that he needed certain things and didn't want other things?
I don't know. Hopefully I can do this story justice, and I hope it's semi-true. It's just sort of what I've heard, but it's a good story. So our CEO Coleman, who was really the visionary behind the whole company, legend has it, he has a technology background, Arkansas native, don't hold it against him, but worked, very heavily in the technology. He was designing set-top boxes for cable back in the day, but also a music lover. So worked through, all the .com companies, very successful, always loved music. And the legend is, and I think this is fairly true, if not totally true, that when he was working at Compaq Computer, and you remember Compaq Computer, like the 12-pound laptops, they're like 4 inches thick. Part of his oversight as an executive was the customer service call-in number. Again, legend has it that a customer service rep came to him and said, "Jimmy Buffett's on the phone." And I think maybe a little starstruck, didn't know what to do. So it escalated quickly, as they say. And Coleman, who will talk to anybody about anything, said, well, hell, I'll talk to him. And I think the conversation was something like, "Your computer ate my book that I was writing." And so we are a very customer service oriented company. And I think that kind of comes from the fact that Coleman was that way. And I think he either got the hard drive in or went down there and got it and retrieved the book from the laptop and they sort of began an ongoing relationship. And Jimmy, being, a brilliant visionary when it comes to entertainment things, started to ask Coleman about things, and Coleman told him what he thought about things. And it just became this incredible partnership. Jimmy wanted to buy a radio station. And I think Coleman helped him figure out that why buy a radio station when they have the satellite radio? So they launched Radio Margaritaville, which I believe was the first artist branded satellite radio station ever. So I think Coleman was, doing it out of love for Jimmy and the music, and maybe looking to where to take it. And I think Jimmy said, well, why don't you just start a company that helps artists like you help me? Bam. There it is.
Yeah. Jimmy Buffett's always a little bit of an outsider, even musically. His music didn't really sound like, it doesn't really fit neatly into a box. So that it doesn't surprise me that's the way he thinks, and that appealed to him.
Yeah, I remember buying the 45 of Cheeseburger in Paradise. Yeah. When I was young, but very strong roots in Nashville. He had a lot of roots in Nashville, and a lot to admire for how he, a visionary in so many ways, technology, business, but also, a frictionless relationship with his fans and building fan community.
Right. And I guess you guys kind of take his spirit, and I guess Coleman maybe is a little that way too, because that's kind of how you guys approach it. I mean, you guys are really good about not doing too much, not pushing hard in certain areas, and kind of just being the lube in the music business for an artist.
Yeah. I mean, I think I probably had, many years ago, I probably would have had a much fancier way to see it. And maybe it's just sort of getting older and more direct. People always ask, and I hate I hate big marketing words of we're going to build your organic engagement. You know the words. And so I think at some point I just started to go, words. Word salad words for sure. And there's a lot of them in the music business and everywhere, I guess. But I just started to say, what do you do? And it's like, well, I just think we kind of help people figure it out using technology. And it's not even really using technology. It's just like, everyone's at a different place. Everyone has different goals. There's lots of challenges, but there's also lots of opportunities in kind of the new music business when anyone can put out, when 120,000 singles are uploaded a day on Spotify. So it's just like, hey, let's start here. What do you need to figure out? And we can just see if you can figure it out. And I think dealing with artists that way, helps them. How do we improve your business? How do we drive measurable results? If you want to be a star who plays stadiums, we're going to help you do that. If you want to have like an incredible small business and you don't care about the whole world knowing, but you can have a cool little business, we can help you do that too. Or if you just want to figure out how to sell more T-shirts and things like that, we can do that.